I'm going to show you how to get lightning fast pressure from 2 of your defensive linemen.
Release the Kraken!
Welcome back. Now, did you know that by watching my videos and subscribing to this channel, you could have had a brand new next-gen Xbox or a brand new next-gen PlayStation, or even cash prizes sent to your bank account of up to $1,000 or more? I want to give gifts away to you, but I need you to do something for me. You have to be part of the giveaway gang. Let me show you exactly how to do that. The first thing you want to do is subscribe to this channel. The second thing you want to do is there's a link below and it leads to this website here. I'm going to show you. And on this website, follow the instructions. Just come to this website, follow the instructions. And it says step 1, follow us on all our social media. Step 2, you can click that donate button and donate $1. And we had a person that donated $1 and received an Xbox that they won. You can also buy our merch. And you can also fill this out and get notified every time we give something away via email or phone number. And just for getting on the list, we're going to give you a free Elite Passer tutorial sent directly to your email just as a thank you. So make sure before this video is over, you number 1, subscribe. Number 2, click the link to our website below, follow the steps and get on the notification list. I want to give stuff away to you, but you have to be part of the giveaway gang. Now let's get into this video. Welcome back. Now, if you are a person that is pretty new to Madden, and you may be a person who is getting Madden for Christmas and Christmas is tomorrow, then I'm going to give you some advice that is going to help you build a bloodthirsty, dominant defensive line. Now, what I'm going to share with you is a tip that the current pros and comp players are using in a $1.7 million tournament, and it's being used in comp tournaments all over the world. And I'm going to give you this knowledge on how to build an amazing defensive line that will literally get instant pressure on quarterbacks. Now, I do need to warn you, when using this strategy, it's going to work best against opponents who have no abilities on the offensive line. Now, this will be a full-on tutorial, and we're going to build you a championship caliber defensive line in this video. Now, again, if you are a person who is just starting my ultimate team with Madden, a lot of times you're going to be matched up with newer players just like yourself. They're not going to match you up with high caliber players. They're going to match you up with newer players just like yourself. And a lot of times they may not be aware of how to protect themselves from what I'm going to show you. And if they're not, then you're going to dominate. So we're going to dive here into my Madden ultimate team here. And I want to show you something. The first thing you want to do is when you're in a game, I'm going to go to practice mode here. I want to show you how to identify if your opponent is susceptible to get destroyed by this animalistic, bloodthirsty, championship caliber defensive line that we're going to build for you in this video. So I'm going to pick a random play. I'm going to pick a shotgun, and I'm going to pick a random nickel play. And the first thing you want to do in game is you want to pull the left trigger on Xbox or left trigger on PlayStation, and then you want to hold down. And what you want to do is you want to look at your opponent's offensive line and you want to see if they have any abilities. Now, if you look at my offensive line, because I am a seasoned Madden player and I am in the, wasn't a Madden tournament, you'll notice that I have abilities on my offensive line that will protect me against what I'm about to show you. But even though it protects me what I'm about to show you, it doesn't 100% protect me all the time, because sometimes I will still get sheds with what I'm going to show you. Now, again, as you see, I have Trent Williams, left tackle. He has edge protector. And again, this is good against elite edge pass rushers. Then I have John Runyon with no physical on-field abilities, but it does give me identifier, which helps me locate the user. Then at the center, I have Jason Kelsey, the best center in the game currently, and he has nasty streak for 0 AP. So I love that for my inside runs. And then I have Larry Allen, who has secure protector, who can also protect me from block sheds and stronger moves. And then I have Tristan Wirfs, or wharfs that has also edge protector. So I am well equipped to actually deal with what I'm going to show you, but most people you're going to play against, they're not protected at all. And so if you look on their offensive line and you see no protection, what I want you to do is I want you to smile, because your defensive line is about to have a freaking buffet, and you're going to sit back and just watch the show happen. You're going to realize, like, wow, I'm getting instant pressure with just 3 to 4 defensive linemen, and I can drop 7 in coverage and just blanket the whole field. And that's a good scenario. And you're going to make your opponents rage quit. So now let me show you how to build this animalistic line so you now too can start to dominate. So if you're into Madden Ultimate Team, the first thing you want to do is you definitely want to focus on your defensive line in order to use what I'm about to show you. Because if you do this, then you'll start to get a lot of under pressure. You'll start to get a lot of sacks, and you'll not even have to worry about using some of those nano blitzes, which can be irritating, but also it leaves you open to get cooked in one-on-one situations with wide receiver ability. So you want to be able to have a lot of people in coverage, and people are going to go for wide receiver abilities first and probably do offensive line last. But if you do defensive line first, you're going to win a lot of games with defensive lineman interceptions and defensive lineman strip sacks and fumbles. And you're going to also be able to stop the run and shut it down in the backfield before they even get going. So let's go over to defense here. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you need. I'm going to tell you the AP as well. So the first thing we're going to start with is we're going to start with the right defensive lineman. We're going to move all the way over to the left defensive lineman. So let's begin here. Now, I don't have the best right defensive end in the game. So the first person we're going to look at is Aaron Donald. And what you want to do is you want to get a defensive end that can get these two particular abilities, and you want to get them for 3 AP or less. If they're higher than 3 AP, you need to get someone with 3 AP, because it's going to eat up all your ability points on defense, and you're not going to have enough to spread around everyone else. So I'm going to go into this upgrade portion. And as you see, Aaron Donald has decent stats. He has a block shed of 93. He has power moves of 93, finesse moves of 92. And if we go into his abilities, I have unstoppable force on him. And yes, this is active. And when this gets activated, man, you're going to see some fireworks happen. So the two abilities that you want on your right defensive end is going to be, number one, double or nothing. As you see, I get this for 1 AP. And that's going to allow dominant pass rush wins at twice the cost. So again, I'll be able to win a lot of dominant pass rush moves just from this ability, and it'll do it on its own. I don't have to click on him or control him or anything. He will literally start to take over on his own. And to give him an extra cocktail of destruction, you add with this edge threat. Edge threat will give him the ability to literally just plow over the tackle that has no abilities and right into the quarterback, as you saw in the intro. So again, that's the cocktail that you want on your defensive end. You want to have double or nothing, and you want to have edge threat. And that is going to allow you to start to dominate from the defensive end position. Now, because I love this so much, I want to complement this ability with another ability. Now, my next defensive lineman is Refrigerator Perry. He is not the best defensive tackle in the game, but he is still serviceable. And what I do with Refrigerator Perry is this. I'm going to show you his abilities here. Is a lot of times people will try to use the inside zone run. And what can shut this down is an ability called inside stuff. Now, Refrigerator Perry gets this ability for 1 AP, which means a lot of times in my games, he has literally been in the backfield to hit the running back as soon as he gets the ball for a loss. Now, there is a way to prevent inside stuff from happening, but most people don't know it. I will share it with you in the video when I do the offensive line, but now I'm covering the defensive line. And again, this is all part of my Secrets of Success Madden series. So you definitely want to make sure that you're subscribing and checking this out, because it's going to really help a lot of new players. So I got inside stuff at my defensive tackle. And for professional players, they already know how to shut this down. So if you're playing against someone that is professional or comp, you might want to put 2 inside stuffs on here, because they know how to stop the one inside stuff, but most people don't. That's something that probably only 20% of Madden players know, if that much. Now, we have double or nothing, edge threat, we have inside stuff, and the second defensive tackle, which again, I like to run 2 defensive tackles. I'm going to tell you why, because Richard Seymour, as I know it so far, is the only defensive tackle that gets this ability, and you're going to see it, defensive rally for 0 AP. Now, what defensive rally will do is defensive rally will add a pass rush point to all linemen on 3rd and 4th down. That means your linemen are literally going to be on steroids on 3rd and 4th down, and any ability that you have will literally be ignited by defensive rally, and not only be regular ability, but it's going to make them OP. So on 3rd and 4th down, you're going to see your line absolutely just eat an offensive line with no abilities completely up and dissolve them like acid, because that's what this ability does. It actually powers all your defensive linemen, and I got it for 0 AP. And again, I could put other abilities on him, but they would actually cost, so I wouldn't do that. And so I have defensive rally on Richard Seymour. And the next ability we're going to talk about here is we're going to go over to the left end, and I got Reggie White, and we're going to pull up his stats. And as you see, Reggie White has the same thing that Aaron Donald has. He has unstoppable force, and he has double or nothing, and he has edge threat. So now I have edge threat and double or nothing on 2 defensive ends. I have inside stuff, and I have defensive rally. So on 4th down and 3rd downs, I'm literally calling formations like dime or nickel just to put these 4 on the field so this defensive line can get instant sheds. Now that you have all of this information, I'm going to show you how to take everything and make it even crazier. Now, I want you to notice something. Up here, my left outside linebacker, Bradley Chubb, is a 92. Khalil Mack is a 90. Aaron Donald is a 93. Refrigerator Perry is a 92. Richard Seymour is a 92. Reggie White is a 94. Now, keep in mind, let's look at Reggie White's block shed. His block shed is a 95, his power move is a 94, and his finesse move is a 91. I'm going to show you one strategy you can do to make this even sicker. And you didn't think we can get even sicker than what we got. We're going to use a strategy called the bull rush strategy, and this is going to literally add another boost on top of all of the other boosts that I just gave you and make your line absolutely sick. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So pay attention to the defense. And again, if you're in a 3-4 or 4-3, this will apply to those abilities as well too. So make sure you pay attention to the defense and look at this. And so we're going to go over to strategy, and we're going to apply this one strategy to defense. And this one strategy is going to ignite it. And this strategy card is called the Bull Rush card. And if you take a look at it, we're going to select it. And let me pull it up here so we can compare it. If you take a look at this card, it's a chemistry card that literally will add +2 power moves to defensive linemen and outside linebackers. And it will add +2 finesse move, and it'll add +2 blocking and +1 impact block. Now I've added this to my strategy, and let me show you what happens. Now, look at everyone. You have Aaron Donald that went from a 93 to a 94. Fridge went from a 92 to a 93. Richard Seymour, 92 to 93. Reggie White, 94 to 95. Bradley Chubb, 92 to 93. Khalil Mack, 90 to 91. And if this is Lawrence Taylor, would it be even a whole lot more sick? Now, let me show you what this boosted. So if you go to Reggie White and you look at his block shedding, he literally got a +2 boost in block shed. Went from a 95 to a 97, power move +2, finesse move +2. So +2 to all the best categories. And again, your impact as well, he got a +2 to that as well. So if you look at, I mean, this is on offense like he needs it, but if you look at it, it gave him a huge impact in 3 categories. And these are the categories that make it hard to stop a defensive lineman. So now we have just put this strategy on steroids, And you now have a championship defensive line. Now remember, you want to make sure your ends can get the cocktail of double or nothing and edge threat for at least 3 AP or less. Any more, this won't work. So as you see, I have a total of 7 AP on my defensive line, and this is allowing everyone to get an increase. Now, if you look at Bradley Chubb right here, who is a outside linebacker, and maybe you use 3-4 and 4-3 situations, if you look at that, then he got a boost as well. And his boost went from a 94 block shed to an 82 power move. So again, everyone is increasing. And now let me show you how to make this even better by tying in your secondary. On my AP side, as you see, I use all my AP. What I did is I actually have unstoppable force on Reggie White, unstoppable force on Aaron Donald. And what's going to ignite this unstoppable force is on Brian Dawkins, which is Weapon X, I actually have this ability called Selfless. So what happens is if he gets a hit stick or if he gets an interception, then his X factor will activate automatically Aaron Donald's and Reggie White's X factor. And now you're going to have them lit up with X factors, and all this can be triggered by Brian Dawkins. And again, I believe in running this strategy because if a person does not have time to throw and you're not having to blitz them, it doesn't matter how good their quarterback is. It doesn't matter how great their wide receivers are. If they have less than 2 seconds to throw the ball, it doesn't matter because you're going to be able to intercept. You're going to be able to rush them. You're going to be able to get under pressure throws. You're going to be able to sack them, and you'll be able to disrupt their entire offense just with this strategy. So this strategy literally has worked for me. It has made my defense crazy. Brian Dawkins has gotten an interception, and not only has my defensive line been dominating through the game, but when Brian Dawkins got an interception and his Selfless activated, then that activated Reggie White's unstoppable force. It activated Aaron Donald's unstoppable force, and it literally made the game just unplayable for my opponent. It was absolutely unplayable. They could do nothing. I went down to just having 4 down linemen, dropping everybody in coverage, and they only had a half a second to a second to throw the ball, because when you get the X Factor ability activated on top of all the other abilities, on top of all the other strategies, on top of everything else, and defensive rally kicks in, let's say it's X Factor activated on 3rd and 4th down, along with defensive rally, I have had instances where their entire offensive line got shedded all at once, and they had 4 defensive linemen in their face with less than 2 seconds to make a read. And it was like that for the entire game because they couldn't get me out of the X Factor because there was nothing they could do. And literally the only way they could even have any satisfaction or relief is to quit the game. And so that's a strategy that you guys can use, and it's a very powerful strategy. And again, if you activate it, oh my God, you're gonna be thanking me a whole lot later. So hopefully that tip helped you. If it did, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you click that link below so you never miss a giveaway. And folks, I'll see you in the next video. In the next video, we're gonna talk about the offensive line, how to counter this and how to counter everything I showed you. And still, even with me showing you the counter, this power that I just gave you will still be trouble for anyone that counters this. But I'm going to show you how to build a championship offensive line now that I've shown you how to build a championship defensive line. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Peace.